everyone for this wonderful conference. Thanks a lot to the LROC team. Well, before I start, I would want you all to pay attention to what I've written on the screen. Are we happy teaching the next generation of most efficient cheaters? Any ideas? Who am I talking about? Yeah? Are you ready for this? Are you doing this by any chance? Okay. So before I talk about who these people are, before I talk about what these people are doing, and before I talk about why these people have become so efficient and so important in our system, let me do a quick raise of hands, a quick poll, and that will probably set the context right for what I'm trying to do here. How many of you have started using ChatGPT? Great. Welcome to the Cheaters Club. How many of you have started encouraging your teachers to use ChatGPT? Super. How many of you have started encouraging your children to use ChatGPT? Did you observe something? What? The number of hands kept on reducing with every question passing by. But they are already aware. So that's where I was coming to. Whether you teach them or not, they've already reached there. Yeah? So I am talking about my quintessential teacher who would have labeled me a cheater back in my school days if I had Googled something and copied something and submitted. But believe you me, this is exactly what I want them to do today. Because like Preetham was talking about, it's stupid and useless to talk about sine thetas and cos thetas of the world, because now all this is just available at the click of a button. So here we are talking about cheaters who are in demand across the organizations. Here we're talking about cheaters where organizations are promoting them for a purpose that they are bringing in more and more efficiencies in the system. Because the organizations, the companies who are working for the world and making things better with technology every passing day, they've realized the importance of efficiency. They don't believe in wasting time in something which is already there and is available in a fraction of a second. Why to waste 10 days building it? Yeah? So they're talking about the next generation of thought process. These are the people who are being recruited left, right, and center. I'll show you an example how they're doing. And these are the people who are actually taking the center stage in the next gen jobs. Yeah? We're no longer talking about people who know PowerPoints and the Excels of the world. And these are the people who are getting recognition. These are the people who are getting rewarded. So while I was wanting to prepare something, I came across this term called prompt engineers. Heard of this term before? Are you one of the prompt engineers? Well, let me tell you what this term means. So prompt engineering, I tried to Google, and if you just go to Google and type prompt engineering, this is what you get. So it's there on GitHub, it's there on every place you'll find this. It made me intriguing, so I went a little deeper. What is a prompt engineer? A technique used in AI to optimize and fine-tune the language model for particular task and desired output. Yeah, so I read this article, went a little more deeper, searched further on Wikipedia, and what it told me is that prompt engineering was initially proposed as an alternative to fine-tuning. And how do you fine-tune this? The process of prompt engineering involves asking a series of questions, which I'm sure you already have done when using ChatGPT. So the idea here is, why am I so keen on teaching these cheaters? Is because there is an underlying skill to this prompt engineering, which is one of the most sought after and the highest paid jobs in US across the world today. It's the ability to reason. It's the ability to think critically. It's the ability to ask the right question. And I think I'd like to go back to what Preetham said. Learning is not about what is written in the textbook. Learning is what can you make a child think about. So right from a pre-primary stage to a postgraduate level, what needs to happen inside a classroom is to develop a child to make him be prepared to ask the right question. If he's able to ask the right question, that means he's thinking. If he's able to ask the right question, that means it's going to lead to a certain level of interaction in the class. If he's able to ask the right question, the teacher is on the right track. There's another topic which I did a keynote on that was about removing the textbooks from the classrooms. If I had a longer time, I would have probably on this particular aspect of it, but that is what is something which makes the process of critical thinking even more critical and important. Yeah? The idea behind a classroom now is not about what is there as a text or topics. Believe me, everything that's written in a textbook is available in far more simplicity, in far more details on a click of a ChatGPT. Yeah? So before we become redundant as a school and as teachers, it's important we shift gears, it's important we change. Of course, we've done that big time in COVID and come to a long way. But I think with the NEP also talking about it, the new schools going into this dimension, this is a new dimension which we need to explore. This is probably the time where we need to go beyond the horizons of a textbook, something which I've always perceived as a very limiting factor. I mean, I've been really blessed that right from my 7th class onwards, my dad had a computer at home and an internet came very quick. And believe me, I've always referred to a internet then. I'm talking about days when Google was also not there. So I started my learning from, there was something called as Netscape Navigator. If you remember way back in 1999, I think that was the very early browsers which came in. So that is what led to a certain level of practical learning experience. First, exposure to what is a limitless learning. I've always been learning through things like National Geographic, Discovery channels, and all those kinds of words, because those are the things which take your thinking, which take your thought process into a new dimension. You're not, limiting yourself to what is written in a textbook. A textbook is a good tool to maybe structure your thoughts, but beyond a point, when you, just initiate that topic with that child, it is that child who is able to question. It is that child who is able to go to that next dimension. You don't know what is the inquisitiveness that child has. And I think as a teacher, that is my job, right? I might have come to a different level in teaching, but even today, after managing 5 schools across different schools and 25 these things, I've always believed in being inside the classroom, being with the children and making them think. What is the question that's there? I don't need to teach them what is sine theta. I need to teach them why do you need sine theta and cos theta. Where is it useful? Why is it applicable? So that is exactly what is something which, is the purpose of the thing. And that's something which probably can move our kids into a 21st century learning skills. Maybe driving them from technologies like AI and those kind of things. If you look at AI now and other technologies which are there, in the coming days ahead, we are going to have 3 kind of citizens in this country or across the world maybe. One, who are the consumers of technology. So when I ask you a question, are you using ChatGPT and you say yes, you are a consumer of technology. If you are using Zomato, Swiggy, Goibibo, Amat, all of this, you are a consumer of technology. Yeah? Then there are promoters of technology. So you have something called as Facebook, you have something called as Google, you have Instagram, you have Pinterest of the world, which are helping you promote, they are helping you market, they are helping you capture the attention of the audience. That's true. But the most critical of them all and most important of them all is the creator of this technology. There is somebody who's created ChatGPT, right? There is somebody who's created a Google, there is somebody who's created a Facebook. Are we nurturing that generation? That's the point. It's quite easy to let them see that, okay, here is where you can cheat from, but how to build a tool which can help the entire world cheater, that is something which probably is the most important part. And that's what I believe is the most critical function of a teacher inside the classroom, is to make a child think, ask the right questions, and nurture that critical learning. In the sense, that is when we will not be nurturing a generation of cheaters, but probably the most efficient thinkers. Thank you so much. Do have a great day.
Thank you, Sudhir sir. Now I would like to call on stage Mr. Ranjit Singh from schoolcanvas.com to felicitate sir with an award.